Hey there everybody, Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, 1964 payoff pitch baseball. Enjoy the show. We're right about to get started. And I'm trying to activate the, here it is. Okay, the 1964 season schedule. So it's going to be Whitey Ford versus Hank Aguirre. And it's New York at Detroit. You can see the Tiger Stadium ballpark card. It's a little friendlier to righties than it is to lefties. But overall, it's a good park to hit in, especially if you want the long ball. And we're right about to get started. Let me look and see. Now, the Tigers are in second place, 15-8. And the Yankees are in third place at 13-8. So you have two good ball clubs going at it here. And we're right about to get started. And it's going to be the lineups for the Yankees. Phil Linz, the shortstop. Bobby Richardson batting second, the second baseman. Batting third, the left fielder Hector Lopez, the catcher. Elson Howard in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth is the center fielder Tom Tresh. First baseman Joe Pepitone. Batting sixth. Batting seventh is the right fielder Pedro Gonzalez. Eighth is Clete Boyer, the third baseman. And ninth is Whitey Ford. Now, we're going up against Hank Aguirre, and leading off for the Tigers is Don Wirt, the third baseman. The second baseman, Jay Lumpy. Don Demeter in center field batting third. Batting cleanup is Norm Cash. Batting fifth is Bill Freehan, the catcher. Sixth is the left fielder, Willie Horton. Seventh is the right fielder, George Thomas. Eighth is the shortstop, McAuliffe. And ninth is Hank Aguirre, the pitcher. Aguirre has 21 innings pitched and a 4.98 ERA and an 0-1 record. He will be facing Phil Linz, who's batting .229 with 35 at-bats. Let's do it. Now, the way you play payoff pitch baseball is you roll 2d10 and 2d6. And the 2d6 you're going to add, and the 2d10 you're going to read the red one first. And here it goes. It's going to be an 8, which off Aguirre is a tough, and 11 should be a strikeout, and it is. So Phil Linz goes down on strikes route number 1. Bobby Richardson is a right-handed batter, second baseman, and that's a 9 and a 65. A 9 is a patient, and a 65 is going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. That's Lumpy, up with it, over to first, and in time, 2 away. Beautiful game, payoff pitch baseball. I'll be playing a combination of dice and fast action cards. And I'll show you how I do that. That's going to be an 11, a patient 23, and that is ball 4. So Hector Lopez gets the best of Aguirre and walks, and he's on at first for Elston Howard. So Elston Howard bats from the right side. Elston Howard in our replay is batting .355. Here's the pitch. And that's a 4, so that's in play. And a 30, in play 30 may be a wild pitch, but no. And an in play 30 is going to be a base hit. And let's use the fast action cards, and they'll tell us what's going to happen here. Only 1 base, but I also have to look. There's 2 outs. And Lopez, if he's at least a 6, he will advance. He is a 6, and he will advance to third on this. All right, so the Yanks have something going here, even though there's 2 outs. And it's the switch hitter, Tom Tresh. Tom Tresh in our replay is at .281 with 5 RBIs. We are, I tell you what we were, I think we are 13-8. So the Yankees are 13-8, and the Tigers are 15-8. All right. And here's the pitch to Tom Tresh with runners on first and third and 2 out. And that's a 5 and a 36. A 5 is in play. A 36 is going to be a ground ball right back to Aguirre. He picks it up over to first, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Don Wirt leading it off against Whitey Ford. Excuse me. And there's Whitey Ford, and here's a pitch. That's a 5. A 5 is in play. And a 35 against a lefty, in play 35, goes only up to 31. And that's a ball that's hit right back to Ford. He picks it up and over to first, and out number one. Here's Jerry Lumpy, a left-handed batter. And that's an 8. That's going to be a patient, and a 16. That's ball 4. So both pitchers have had a little bit of issue with the strike zone. And it could be the umpire back there. Don Demeter with a runner on first and nobody, and 1 out. That's a 4 and a 70. A 4 is a tough, and a 70 is going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. We're going to use that 4, and it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play, and the Yankees turn a double play to get out of the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, none left. And we go to the top of the second inning. Beautiful pace. Hank Aguirre up against Joe Pepitone. And we're in the top of the second, no score. All right, here goes. And that's a 7 and a 69. A 7 is in play, and a 69 will be a bouncer to the third baseman. That is Wirt up with it and throws out Pepitone, 1 away. Here's Pedro Gonzalez with a 7 and a 76. A 7 is in play, and a 76 is going to be way out of hit range, and that's lifted to center field. Center fielder Demeter has it in his sights and puts it away. And here with 2 outs is Cleve Boyers, a right-handed hitter, hitting third baseman with outstanding range. And that's a 9 and a 28. A 9 is a patient. A 28 is going to be line base hit, left field, played on a hop by the left fielder Horton. Gets it in to the shortstop McAuliffe. And they keep Boyer on at first. And here's Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford, not a very good hitting pitcher. We use column 3. Here's a pitcher, and that's here's the pitch, and that's a ballpark 20. That's going to take us to the wheelhouse, and let's see what happens. Here's a wrong dice. Here's a wheelhouse swing, and it's a 94, and that's a fly ball deep left field. Back goes Horton to the track and holds it in. No runs, 1 hit, no score. Bottom of the second coming up. New York at Detroit, 1964. All right, Whitey Ford will be facing Norm Cash here in the bottom of the second inning. And that's an 8 and a 34. An 8 is a patient, and a 34 will be a base on ball, so Cash walks. Let's see. He only had 2 stolen bases, not a base stealer. Here's Bill Freehan, and that is a 12, which is a ballpark, and a 13 is going to be against a lefty, 1-33, and that ball's out of here. So he swings, and that ball is hit deep right field in the gap, and running after it is the right fielder Gonzalez, and he catches up to it. And Cash will head back to first base on that. Willie Horton now, with 1 out and 1 on. Here's a pitch from Whitey Ford. That's a 10. It's a tough 35, and that is a strikeout. So Horton chases a Ford curveball in the dirt and strikes out. And here we have George Thomas. George Thomas versus lefties, batted .283. And Whitey Ford checks the sign with Howard. He sets, looks in there, and deals. And that is a 5 and a 91. A 5 is an in play, and a 91 is going to be an out. It's going to be a bouncer to the shortstop. Shortstop Linz picks it up, fires to first. High throw, but nice stretch by Pepitone. And that retires the side. So no runs, no hits, 1 left, the walk. And we go to the top of the third inning. Let's see what happens. Here we are in the top of the 5th inning. There's no score. Hank Aguirre, the lefty who tires in the 7th, or begins to tire in the 7th, depending on the circumstances, is going to be pitching to Boyer, Ford, and then Phil Linz. And Cleve Boyer steps in the box, and here's the pitch. That ball is line, base hit. Cleve Boyer with a single here, leading off the top of the 5th inning. And next up is the pitcher, and we're going to square. And the way I do this is just I look at Whitey Ford's sacrifice rating, and it's a B. So what I'm going to do is just grab a fast action card and look in the sacrifice section of B. Says it's a good bunt to the third baseman. It's going to be 5-4, and runner moves up to second base. So the Yankees here in the top of the 5th inning have a runner in scoring position for Phil Linz and then Bobby Richardson. So 1 on, 1 out. Hank Aguirre looks into Bill Freehand for the sign. Phil Linz bats from the right side, and he's struck out and grounded out today. Against lefties, he bats .302. We were playing 1964. New York at Detroit. Here's a pitch. And that's a 4 and a 75. A 4 is an in play, and a 75 is going to take us all the way to a fly out to center field. And holding back to second is Boyer. So there's 2 outs now. Bobby Richardson steps into the box, and he is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. Hank Aguirre was 5-10 with a 3.79 ERA in 1964. I know he played with the Dodgers, I believe, for a while. Eventually, after his stint with Detroit. All right, so here's the pitch, and that is a 45 and a 6. A 6 is going to be a tough, and a 45, just misses. It gets up to 39 for a single. A 45 is going to be a pop-up middle of the infield by the second base bag, and it's going to be the shortstop, McAuliffe, calling everybody off, and that retires the side. So Yanks leave 1, and they score none with 1 hit, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. And here's a pitch, and that is a 6 and a 32. A 6 is a tough, and a 32 is a drive down the line into the left field corner. And after it is the left fielder, Lopez, and Freehand is going to dig for second. Here's the throw, the tag, and he is safe with a double, a leadoff double in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bill Freehand is on at second base with the go-ahead run, and he is a 7, so he'll be able to score. All right, so Whitey Ford, Bill Freehand gets to Whitey Ford and lines a Whitey Ford curveball down the line. All right, there's nobody out and a runner at second base, and that's Bill Freehand, who lined a double down the left field line. It's going to be Willie Horton leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Whitey Ford facing Willie Horton. No score. New York at Detroit. Here's a pitch, and that's a 9 and an 83. A 9 is an in play, and an 83 is going to be a fly ball center field. Hustling over is Tommy Tresh, and he's there. Now, if I pull a deep fly, it's a short fly. I could potentially tag up on that. Here's George Thomas. Here's the pitch, and that's a 7 and a 97. A 7 is an in play, and a 97 is going to be a fly ball to left field this time. And holding on that will be Freehand. And with 2 outs and a runner at second, no score in this game, by the way, Dick McAuliffe. And Dick McAuliffe is a 190 hitter versus lefties. We will let him bat. And here's a pitch, and that's a 5. A 5 is in play, and a 0-8 is going to be a base hit. And around to score is Bill Freehand, and he will score easily, and Dick McAuliffe comes up huge and gives the Detroit Tigers a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-out single by Dick McAuliffe. And he drives in Bill Freehand, who led off the inning with a double, and the Tigers lead it 1-0. Here's Hank Aguirre, and here's a pitch from Whitey Ford. That's a 6 and a 10. A 6 is a tough, and a 10 is strike 3, and that retires the side. That is Whitey's 3rd strikeout of the day. So it's 1 run on two hits, and the Tigers now lead it 1-0, going to the top of the 6th inning. Hank Aguirre is going to be facing Hector Lopez, Elston Howard, and Tom Tresh. This is 1964. Here's a pitch. And that's a 7 and a 98. It's an in play. A 98 is lifted shallow left field. Racing in is the left fielder Horton, and Horton gets there for out number 1. Next is Elston Howard. Steps in the box. He's a right-handed hitter. That's a 4 and a 30. That's in play, and that's line base hit for Elston Howard. He's on with a single, a 1-out single for Ellie Howard, who now is 3 for 3. Came in batting .350 and just has improved on that. He's 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. And up is Tom Tresh. Tom Tresh, a switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Hank Aguirre. And here's the pitch. And that's a 3 and a 67. A 3 is a ballpark. 67 is going to be too high for a right-handed batter. So that's going to take us to the in play against a lefty. We're going to roll 2d10 and see what happens. We read the red first, a 0-2, and that's a drive. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Let's see if Howard can score on this. And no, they're going to hold him up. Red light, red light. They're going to hold him up with 1 out here. A double by Tresh, a 1-out double by Tresh, and Howard slowed down around third base, and they held him up. And here's Joe Pepitone. Joe Pepitone bats from the left side against Hank Aguirre. It's 1-0 Detroit, top of the 6th. All right, Joe Pepitone with he's 1 for 2 today. He singled and he grounded out. Here's the pitch, and that is a 7 and a 58. A 7 is in play, and a 58 is going to be a fly ball left field. Now with a runner on third, let's see what happens. It is a deep fly, so we're going to have an opportunity to score him on this. So to left field, we're going to check Horton's arm. And that is a homebrew rule, by the way. I'm not the only one who uses it. Willie Horton is an 8 arm. So, and the runner at third, Ellie Howard, I believe Ellie Howard is a 7. So, let's see. Ellie Howard is a 6. So, between 6 and 8, we got to look at the chart. I believe, I believe it's 7 and 8. We have to look at the chart. 6 or less, he scores. And we're going to roll 2d6 and see what happens. And it's an 8, so we're going to have to look at the chart. It's called a choice chart. Then we're going to roll 2d10 and see what happens. Here it is. And that's a 76. And here's the throw to the plate, and he is safe. The game is tied. Sacrifice fly by Joe Pepitone comes up huge. And Ellie Howard risked it all. And he is safe, so that's a sac fly to left field. Horton does not have a great arm. And Pepitone picks up an RBI, 2 outs. Tresh, we're going to try to go to third on that throw home. Tommy Tresh, if we roll less than, another homebrew, if we roll less than a 7 or less, he makes it to third, and we roll a 7, and he does tag up and go to third on this. All right. And here's Pedro Gonzalez. Pedro Gonzalez is 0 for 2 today. Fly it out and head to a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch from Aguirre. That's a 7 and a 40. A 7 is in play, and a 40 is going to be a pop-up left side. Third baseman Don Wirt over. Makes the catch, and that retires the side, but not before the Yankees tie it up. 1 run on 2 hits. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied at 1. Whitey Ford. Again, Cleve Boyer leading it off. Here's a pitch from Aguirre. And that's a 6 and a 69. A 6 is a tough, and a 69 is a bouncer to the second baseman. That is Lumpy, up with it, fires to first, and gets Boyer. Pitcher hitting card 3 now for Whitey Ford. and that is a 9, which is a patient 25, and that is a little ground ball and through for a base hit. So Whitey Ford is on with a 1-out single here in the top of the 7th inning. All tied at 1. Phil Lynn's leading it off. And here's the pitch from Aguirre. That's a 7 and a 0-0. So a 7 is in play, and in play 0-0. That is going to tell us that's a rare play. So base run around first, and we roll the 7, and that's a re-roll ballpark. So let's re-roll ballpark. Re-roll 2d10. If within the wheelhouse range of a righty, and it is not, it's going to be a fly ball to center field. Deep center field, and runner's going to tag up on that and go to second. So F8, and there's 2 outs now. And here comes Bobby Richardson. Runner on second, 2 outs. Hank Aguirre still on the mound here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch to Bobby Richardson. That's an 8 and a 38. An 8's going to be a tough, and a 38's going to be line drive base hit. And they're waving Ford around. Let's see if he can make it home. And Ford is a 6. He will make it home. And the Yankees have taken a 2-1 lead. Bobby Richardson, 2 out, clutch, RBI single, driving in Whitey Ford. And the Yankees are up by a run. And here comes Hector Lopez. Here's a pitch, and that's a 6 and a 97, and a 6 is a tough, and a 97 is a fly ball, left field, can of corn for the left fielder. Horton puts it away, and that retires the side. The Yanks pick up a run on 2 hits. They lead it 2-1. Whitey Ford will be facing Cash, Freehan, and Horton. Now remember, Whitey Ford had a 2.13 ERA and was 17 and 6, so he's a hell of a pitcher. And that's a 10 and a 24. A 10 is a tough, and 24 strike 3. Cash goes down swinging. Bill Freehan now, he's 1 for 2 with a run scored. He doubled in the 5th. Pitch from Ford, it's a 9 and a 10. A 9 is in play. That's line base hit for Freehan. Second hit of the day for Bill Freehan. Here's Willie Horton, steps in the box, bats from the right side. Horton didn't play a lot, but he's playing in this game. Must have been injured, or just didn't hit very much. Well, actually, yeah, against righties, bats only 113. Here's the pitch, and that's a 7 and 85. A 7 is in play, and 85 is going to be grounded to the, this is not going to be a double play. It's going to be a fielder's choice. The 85 is going to be grounded to, so it's going to be a 6-4. It's going to be Lins to Richardson, fielder's choice. And now Horton, he's a 6. He's on at first base. That's his speed, a 6. And he won't be stealing. I don't think, yeah, he has no stolen bases. George Thomas now up. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. Here's a pitch from Whitey. And a Snake Eyes 44. Snake Eyes is ballpark. And a 44 is going to put him into the wheelhouse range. So this ball is a meatball. And let's see what George Thomas can do with it. And he drives it deep to left field. Back goes the left fielder. Lopez to the track, to the wall. And he makes the catch. Number was too high, that 91. Otherwise, it could have been a home run. The home run was from 1 to 36 and a hit all the way to 54. But it did not happen, so Whitey Ford gets lucky there. The wind keeps it in the ballpark. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit. And it's 2-1 Yankees here in the top of the 8th inning. Elston Howard, Aguirre is still in there, and he still holds on to his grade because he hasn't given up 3 runs yet. I like my pitchers to go anyway, so whether he became a fatigue card or not, I would probably still keep him in. Now, if he gives up a couple of runners in here, I will pull him immediately. So here goes. Here's the pitch. And that's a 7 and a 68 in play. 68 is going to be a bouncer to the second baseman. Lumpy up with it, over to first, one away. Tom Tresh, who's 1 for 3 on the day, he doubled in the 6th inning. Top of the 8th, 2-1 Yankees. Hank Aguirre versus Whitey Ford, lefty on lefty. Here's a pitch. And that's a snake eyes and a 76. That's a wheelhouse. And a 76 is going to be a fly ball deep center field. Back goes the center fielder Demeter to the track and makes the running catch. So Tresh gave it a ride. And here's Joe Pepitone with 2 out, nobody on. And that's a 4 and a 62. A 4 is in play, and a 62 is going to be a bouncer to the shortstop. Easy pickings from McAuliffe, and he throws out Pepitone. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Yankees. Dick McAuliffe. Leading off, and then we'll probably see a pinch hitter for the pitcher. That's an 8 and a 39. An 8 is a patient, and a 39 is going to be a base on ball. So the tying run is on at first. The pitcher will bunt. Let me look and see. Aguirre is an A bunter, so he's going to square away. Oop. He's going to square away, and it's a good bunt. Right back to the pitcher. He's going to throw to second baseman. So it's a sacrifice, and that puts the tying run at second base. Whitey Ford is going to face Don Wirt, a 285 hitter versus lefty, and then Jerry Lumpy, a 250 hitter versus lefties. So Whitey checks with Howard for the sign. He sets the pitch. That's an 11 and a 34. An 11 is a tough, and a 34 is strike 3. Wirt down swinging. Jerry Lumpy now. 2 outs. Tying run at second base. And let's make sure McAuliffe is at least a 6. And he is. He's a 7. So he'll score with 2 outs on a single. Whitey Ford sets. Here's a pitch. And that's a 6 and a 95. A 6 is a tough, and a 95 will be a pop fly right center field. And over is the right fielder, Gonzalez. Gonzalez under it. And that's the inning. All right, Aguirre is going to face off against Pedro Gonzalez. Pedro Gonzalez today is 0 for 3. He's flied out. Bounced out into a fielder's choice. And then popped up to the third baseman. Here's the pitch from Aguirre. And that's a 5 and a 43. A 5 isn't in play, and a 43 is going to be a pop-up. No, it's a grounder. Right to the mound. Aguirre up with it and throws out Gonzalez. 1 down. Boyer with a 6 and a 36. A tough, and a 36 is going to be line base hit. Center field. Played on a hop by the center fielder Demeter. So Boyer's on with a single. And Whitey Ford is a B bunter. He's going to square. Here's the pitch, and it's a good bunt right back to the pitcher. So an insurance run is at second base in Clete Boyer. Clete Boyer, his speed is a 6, so he's okay to score with 2 outs. And here's Phil Linz. Phil Linz. Today, Linz is 0 for 4. He struck out, ground out, and flied out to center twice. So it's Aguirre to Linz here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs, 1 on, and here's the pitch. And that's a 10 and a 44. A 10 is a defense, and a 44, let's see what it says. It's going to be an error on the third baseman. And let's see what the third baseman is Don Wirt. See what kind of defender he is. He is a 4 error rating, and a 4 error rating is to be 1 to 29, and we rolled a 44, so it's going to be a line out and caught to end the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we move to the bottom of the 9th. Last licks for the Tigers. The Yanks are up 2-1. All right, Don Demeter leading off. He's 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, bounced to second, and struck out against Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford's allowed three hits and 3 walks. Struck out 6 actually. And here's the pitch to Demeter. And that's a 7 and a 63. That's in play. 63 is going to read, bounced out to the second baseman. Richardson charges it, bare hands it, fires to first, low throw, scooped out by Pepitone for out number 1. Norm Cash. Good power on Cash, hit 23 home runs. Here's a pitch from Whitey. That's a 7 and a 39. A 7 is in play, and a 39 is going to be a pop-up, left side, shortstop calling, and right there is Linz for out number 2. So the Tigers are down to the last out. Whitey Ford checks the sign, winds and deals to Bill Freehand. He's 2 for 3 on the day, doubled in the 5th, singled in the 7th. And here's a pitch. And that's a 3. A 3 is a defense, and a 99 is going to be a definite out regardless. It only goes up to 60, and that's going to be a bounce out to the third baseman. And the third baseman, Boyer, throws him out. Ball game over. The Yankees win it. A heck of a game by a score of 2-1. The Yankees with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. And did they make an error? No errors. And for the Tigers had 1 run. And what did I say? 3 hits. And I believe they did make an error. No, no errors at all in this game. And that's it, folks. The Yanks with 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Tigers, 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. The Yanks improved their record to 14-8. And the Tigers dropped to 15-9. And we may have one more game after this. I would have to check. Let me take a quick peek. And then I'm using PC Replay Baseball to track all my stats. And let's see. The next day is Thursday. Let's see if we got a game. Yes, we do. It's Boughton versus Regan. Phil Regan. 3-0. Boughton 0-5. And he struggled here early on. This game is, it's May 14th, so we're about a month into the season. And Boughton's already 0-5. So we'll see what happens. Hope you enjoyed the presentation of Payoff Pitch Baseball. The Yankees win it by a score of 2-1. And we will be back with another Payoff Pitch game. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at the YouTube comments section, and I will definitely get back to you. No home runs in this one. The RBIs came an RBI by Pepitone, the sac fly, and then a big RBI by a 2-out RBI by Bobby Richardson in the 7th inning, and that would be the winning margin, that 1 run. So I will see you guys soon. Take care.